What you've all been waiting for with Genshin Impact. Controllers are now supported for iPhone and iPads running iOS 14 and iPadOS 14 or later. So today we're going to have a quick look at how it's been implemented into the App Store version. I honestly gave up on playing Genshin Impact before this update, as I could not stand to play it with the touchscreen controls. With the touchscreen controls, it is so awkward to engage in combat, pull off combos, switch characters, to just flying around and climbing walls. You see, third-person games or just RPGs are more suited to a controller setup. Well, it brings me great joy to see this game is playable on my Backbone controller, or with just my PS4 controller. It's now basically in line with the console version, and can feel a little like a portable console experience. Currently, the following controllers are supported: Xbox Wireless Controller Bluetooth version, Xbox Elite Wireless Controller Series 2, PlayStation DualShock 4 Wireless Controller, and MFi Controllers designed for iOS. iOS 14.5 will be adding support for PS5 DualSense and Xbox Series X controllers too. Awesome. Now, when you initially launch the game, you'll notice your controller isn't working on the login page, or when you're just in-game. Well, you have to go into settings and enable your controller. Now, you'll notice the game has full controller support. Yes, that means gameplay and menu interaction. This means from moving the character, rotating the camera, jumping, sprinting, picking up and interacting, using normal attack, elemental skills, elemental burst, switching characters to using the shortcut wheel. You can even configure the controller layout under settings. If you're using a PlayStation controller, I strongly suggest you change the confirm and cancel buttons to X for confirm and circle for cancel. This will match the PlayStation 4 and 5 console version and is significantly more comfortable. The only issue here is that you have to re-enable your controller every time you launch the game. Every time. Anyway, I love how the game will detect what controller you're using. For example, it's pretty self-explanatory, but if you have a PlayStation controller, the UI will change to the PlayStation version, and the same goes for an Xbox and MFi controller. Fantastic to see. Not many iPhone or iPad games have this support. Not having this feature can be a minor annoyance, but honestly, it can make all the difference to some gameplay elements. This controller detection for Genshin Impact worked for us. However, on my iPhone SE 2nd Gen, at one point I connected my PS4 controller and it was detected, but as an MFi controller. So, controller detection is still not perfect here, but I imagine this will be updated. One thing I hoped would be improved with version 1.3 is the game's performance, but it's still a mess in some cases. Just look at this scene right here. Not great. Keep in mind, this is not just an issue for iPhone and iPads. I also noticed major frame rate drops on my PS4 Pro. While we enabled 60 FPS from settings for this video, I would still suggest playing at 30 FPS for you to avoid your iPhone or iPad becoming too hot, and most importantly, to avoid those massive frame rate drops that really wreck the immersion or just the gameplay experience, I suppose. Outside of this update, looking forward, I would love to see mouse and keyboard support added as a control type for Genshin Impact on iPad. I also said this last week, I believe, in my SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom review, but iOS 14 now supports mouse and keyboards. I don't know the ins and outs of how difficult it is to add these peripherals to games on the App Store, but what I can say is that if Genshin Impact took this step, it would make other developers notice, especially because this is a free game and is insanely popular. A game with this much attention is sure to make a positive change in that circumstance. Furthermore, a Mac and Apple TV version would be great. The Apple TV version might be asking too much because the Apple TV 4K and Apple TV HD are really outdated, but a Mac version would be really good. I imagine it is possible, especially on M1. I know this game could be easily ported to M1 as an iPhone and iPad app via the Mac App Store. Since there is controller support here now, it would make more sense to be ported to M1 or Apple Silicon. Anyway, have you played Genshin Impact yet? Have you tried playing it with a controller? What controller are you using? Is it all working smoothly for you? Are you having performance issues? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed this little video and subscribe and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything Apple gaming related. My name's Stewie and thanks for watching.